Hi guys, welcome back to Sparkling Sketches. Okay, so today I'm going to be showing you how to use oil pastels and basically how to turn that into that. Okay, so before we start this, you're going to need two things. Okay, so number one is you're going to want to put a sheet of paper down because these can get really smudgy and we don't want smudges. Second thing you're going to need is probably a blending snub, or you can just wrap tissue in your finger if you don't have one, but I really like these. So I have a big one and a small one for details, but they're amazing. And then you're going to want one of these. Well, you don't have to have it, but it's just sandpaper. It keeps these clean. All right, so now let's get into blending. So first we're just going to start off with very basic blending. So just with two different colors, just to blend them together. So I'm going to start with my first color. And you want to lay it on pretty thick because that's where you're going to get the best blending. And then you're going to take your blending stick or your tissue and you're just going to kind of go over it, go back and forth. You're going to want to spread some of one color into the other and vice versa because that's how you're going to get the best effect. And as you can see now, they just nicely blend together. And I'm going to put my sheet down because obviously smudges. Alrighty. Now I'm going to show you a different way to blend if you're going to use more colors. So now I'm just going to use tiny circular motions and I'm going to have three colors. So I'm going to have a transitional color and then my blue and my yellow. You always want to follow the rainbow, so my transitional color is going to be green. And as you can see, this is more better if you have more colors or a bigger drawing. So yeah, and then you can blend like that too. Alrighty, now I'm going to just clean this off. And now we can get into the drawing. So try to keep this pretty quick. But anyways, you always want to start with a light source. So for mine, it's going to be in the top left corner because I could just make a mark so I can just remember where it is. Always helps me. This is very important. Okay, so now I'm just going to sketch a flower really quick. It's just going to be just a quick drawing. And then I am going to erase it lightly because I don't want those lines to show when I'm done with my drawing. So I'm not going to erase it completely. You guys probably won't be able to see it, but I'm just going to erase it a little bit. So the lines are still there, but just vaguely. And then now we can get into the coloring. So you always want to have a color palette you choose. So I'm going to have my highlight color, which is going to be yellow. And then I'm going to have my medium light color, which is going to be peach. My medium dark color, which is going to be pink. And then my shadow color, which is going to be purple. You always need a highlight and a shadow color. Okay, so you always want to have your highlight being the closest part to the light source. So as you can see, I'm just looking at my light source and putting in the highlight. This is going to make more sense when the drawing's finished. You can kind of see how it looks. And then you always want to go around your highlight with your lighter color because you want to gradually get darker. So I'm going to do that. And then now I'm going to add my darker color. So this one, I'm just going to go around the same way, maybe make it a little bigger space because this is kind of like my main color. As you can see, I did that there, and then I'm going to blend. So the blending is really important because if you use oil pastels before, you know that they are not very good at getting smooth. And they just kind of turn out real choppy, like crayons almost. But now you can see I blended it. And now we're going to put in our shadow. So you're going to want to go all the way to the edge of the petals for this one because this is it's just going to fill out your drawing. So as you can see, I went to the edges. It doesn't look very good right now, but I'm going to blend it. You're also going to want that little bit around the center because that's shadow. It's just coming out. All right, now we have that done. And now I'm just going to touch it up around the edges with my detail one. These blending snubs are a really good idea to get if you're going to do charcoal or oil pastel or anything like that, or a color pencil even. They're really awesome. Okay, so now that is finished, and now we're going to go in and make the center. So I'm just going to do it yellow. Pretty simple. I'm just going to add some darker dots, for the seeds. And yeah. So now this is one of my tips. So oil pastels can be hard to get good edges. So basically I'm going to choose a marker that's close to my shadow color, and I'm just going to outline it. I know that if you're making a landscape or something, this doesn't matter as much. But for drawing like this, where I have concise edges on the petals, I don't really want to have that choppy look because it's not really abstract, I guess. So I'm going to use that. And it looks a lot better. But you might have noticed I didn't actually use my nice markers for this one. I just used my old A&R set. So yeah, you don't use nice markers because they can get chalky and stuff. But anyway, now you can see I'm onto the stem. So I am just going to use two colors for this since it's so thin. I don't really have room for colors. And anyways, yeah, that's done. And then make the leaves. I always want my lighter green to be closest to the light source. And then I'm just going to use my dark green underneath and blend that in. So you guys can kind of see what I'm doing with just the shading and then blending. It's kind of it's pretty routine. It's kind of satisfying. But anyways, you can kind of see what I'm doing now. And I'm going to go back over with my marker. And this drawing, I think, is done. So I'm going to erase my light source because you don't want that in the picture, obviously. And then I'll show you guys a closer look at this. As you can see, it's not perfect, but it's a lot better when you blend it in. So these are my tips, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye! And don't forget to subscribe!